Now you might be thinking, what does gender equality have anything to do with cars? I mean, doesn't matter what you identify as, at the end of the day, Malaysians are all terrible drivers. Facts aside, today I want to highlight an issue that's very close to me, and that's gender equality. Unfortunately, I still see a big gap in that, and even more so when it comes to traditional boys' toys. I mean, take for instance, mechanical watches. You'd be surprised at how hard it is for women to find mechanical watches specifically made for them. Because oftentimes it's either a unisex watch or a really small men's watch. What about cars? I mean, we keep hearing about cars built around the driver, for the driver, built for an active lifestyle, yada yada yada. But have engineers and designers really taken into account a car that's geared towards the female audience? Does such a concept even exist? Well, that's what we're going to find out today with the help of the Mazda CX-30. Hi everyone, it's Greg from WapCar, and this is the story. Or perhaps even a wake-up call for car brands to pay more attention to female buyers.
Come as you are and leave as you please, as long as you please me, baby. Do what you want, you're not mine to keep, as long as you're driving me crazy. They say lovers never make it without someone wanting more, but I know.
Alright, hold up. I know what you ladies are thinking. Why is this man trying to review cars from the perspective of a woman? No, we're not going to have a review of me mansplaining the CX-30. Instead, I've asked a couple of ladies and compiled a list of questions, issues and/or concerns that us men tend to miss out whenever we're shopping for a car. So today's story is going to revolve around me being the messenger to see whether or not the CX-30 addresses any of these issues. And we begin with Soul Red Crystal on a Mazda. Like roti with teh tarik. Like Indomie but double. It just makes so much sense. Now, the CX-30 has been around for quite some time, but to me, it's still one of the nicest looking compact SUVs out there. And it should be illegal to paint any Mazda aside from this colour, because I've yet to come across a shade of red this nice, unless we're going to go all the way up to Ferrari. On this range-topping High Plus Premium variant, we get auto LED headlamps as well as a sunroof. The latter only available here. Now, this may seem trivial to you, but to me, one of the best features about the lights are the pulsating indicators, because to me they've always had an air of class about them. And while some may scoff at the amount of plastic cladding, I reckon it makes the whole car more aesthetically proportionate. And while we're here, all variants except the base one gets 18-inch wheels. Finally, the tailgate with its various swoops adds to a very dynamic looking rear end. Now all in all, I think it's a design that will appeal to both genders and, more importantly, age really well. Now, on to the next thing. Now, another area of concern is the boot. And while a powered tailgate with a kick sensor might have been very useful, what's just as important is the height of the load lip, which, if I'm honest, can be just a tiny bit lower, especially when we're taking into account the average height of the Malaysian woman, which is at 5 feet 2 or 157 cm. So yeah. In any case, the boot space, we've got 430 litres of storage, and if you need more, just drop the 60/40 seats down for 1,406 litres. Right, I've also been asked to highlight how important accessibility is, especially for ladies wearing skirts. So let's check out the opening aperture of the door and how high the side sills are. So the door opens wide enough, but the side sills look pretty high, so yeah, they might not only get scuffed very quickly, it's also not the most elegant solutions for ladies getting in or out. Yeah, so far we've established that the CX-30 looks good, It's fairly practical in terms of boot space, but accessibility can use an improvement. So, what's next? As mentioned earlier, when it comes to average height, Malaysians aren't exactly going to give the Dutch sleepless nights, right? So all the more reason that most women will look for cars with adjustable seat height, such as this. Now, you may be wondering, why not just put a booster cushion or something underneath to give you that height boost? True, but there's also the risk of it being quite dangerous in case it starts slipping and sliding about. In any case, the Hi Plus Premium does come with 10-way power adjustability and tilt and telescopic driving position, so I'm sure most ladies would be able to find a comfortable driving position. Moving on, Apple CarPlay, Android Auto and a 360-degree cam are all quite high up the list in terms of wants. Although I can argue that most men would...
Hiya, camera for what? Use your eyes, use your eyes, use your eyes!
Yes, but how about using the camera and your eyes, you toxic male you? With that said, the 8.8-inch non-touchscreen display is clear and crisp, but Apple CarPlay and Android Auto connectivity are not wireless. Though the quality of the 360 cam, that I have no complaints about at all. So, what else are we checking out then? I think we're going to be inside for a while, so might as well get the AC started. Alright, vanity mirrors. Check and check. Now, as for the climate control system, we've got a dual zone automatic setup and rear aircon vents. What's next? More cabin storage spaces, eh? Now, I've been told that a dedicated handbag hook is absolutely vital since putting it on the floor or on the passenger seat is very, very dangerous. But unfortunately, I don't think that the CX-30 has a dedicated space where you can put your handbag, so... There's also the need for cubby spaces. Lots of it. So let's see what's what. I have here with me some props, amongst many others, and we're going to try and fit them into as many spaces as we can find. Success or failure? What do you think? Let me know in the comments below. And now, let's move on to... In our own round of testing, we managed a fuel consumption figure of 8.8 litres per 100 kilometers, which is decent. Now with a tank of 51 litres, that theoretically could get you a range of 580 kilometers. So yeah, not too bad. Now what's better than decent is the ease of maintenance, because there is a free maintenance package for 5 years or 100,000 kilometers, whichever comes first. Now with that said, what's next on the agenda? 2-litre naturally aspirated engine with 165 horsepower and 213 Newton meters of torque, mated to a 6-speed automatic gearbox. I like that recipe, and I'll admit, it even sounds pretty good. Now, as far as handling is concerned, this is right up there in its class because the steering is pretty communicative, the ride is pliant, it's very good, it's very well damped, and if you get your inputs right, it really flows between corners. It's very Jinba Itai indeed. Credit goes to the G Vectoring Control Plus system. More than modulating the engine torque, which was what the older system did, GVC Plus also brings the car's brakes into play to control the car's yaw movements. Now what that means in plain English is that you get a more settled, smoother ride when you're winding it through corners. So there you have it, ladies and ladies. The most common aspects you look for in a car can, in fact, be found on the Mazda CX-30. Now, is there room for improvement? Much like our progress towards equality, yes, of course, can be better. But from the looks of it, we are headed in the right direction. Note to all car manufacturers out there, please sit up, take note and pay attention, alright? And on that note, we've come to the end of today's story. Thank you so much for joining me on this journey, and do subscribe for more content like this. Till the next one, drive safe and take care.